Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Hi, I'm Jason, with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Joining Jason this episode is one of late-night television's funniest writers, artist, funny man, and one of the hosts of The Human Centipede, John Reynolds. Now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock!
Ladies and gentlemen, I owe it to my fans out there, my 3 fans. To be honest, this is a show that we've recorded already. But last week, after the recording, I realized I did not hit record properly, and I lost everything. We had a wonderful guest named John Reynolds, who was a longtime writer for late night television. Everything from Craig Ferguson, the beginning, to Craig Ferguson at the end. And I owe it to my public to come clean about this, that I fucked up. So we're going to do this again because John was gracious enough to come back on this program. Yes, the John Reynolds, the guy who makes the cartoon Fistful of Babies and co-stars with Carmen Lynch, his girlfriend, no less. I know, right? On The Human Centipede, his wonderful podcast that puts mine to shame. Okay, before we begin, I'm going to introduce my co-host and band leader. We'll pick up the pace a little bit and ruin this somber tone that I'm really doing a great job to create. Justin Gonzalez!
Thank you, John Reynolds, for coming back on our show. What the fuck? Walter Cronkite over here.
That was beautiful. That was magical, Justin.
Hey, man. I'm excited because we had such a great talk with John last week, and when we had to give him the sad news that all the, we had gold, he was giving us pearls.
We figured out the meaning of life.
We did. We figured out peace in the Middle East. We figured out we figured out everything for what is it? For reusable energy for generations and generations to come. We figured it all out, and I can't remember any of it. So, well, I guess we're fucked.
It's fresh now. This is a new show. The only people who saw it are the psychics.
That's true. That's true. We did get a couple new likes out of last week's show. That never recorded.
We did. They're all psychic. All right. Without further ado, John Reynolds.
Yeah.
The man. Chris, he's down there now. Okay, down this which way? This way. There he is.
It's great to
Hi,
see
John.
you guys.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome back for the first time. Second. Oh, I already told them. Shit.
God, you forgot already? Wow.
Just kidding.
Well, he's a new character. The glasses are off. That's what it is.
That's what it is. He's real fucking method.
I'm not as smart now. For those of you listening at home, John Reynolds and I met at my friend Lori's wedding, and we just clicked right from the start, trying to recreate what we talked about last week. But what I did was I brought a picture of the weekend we met. This is our first weekend. We kind of look like celebrities. That looks like a paparazzi photo.
Yeah, I'm not the pretty woman there. I'm the fucking behemoth in the foreground.
It looks like you two are really clicking, and I've got this look on my face. It's like I'm really uncomfortable with this.
She was my date, I thought.
That was such a great wedding, first of all, and beautiful weekend. It was one of those weekend getaway weddings. So where you have to like camp. Goat yoga.
Did you stay in a tent?
No. And I got angry that we didn't choose tent because tent turned out to be glamping. The tents were better than the rooms.
Glamping does not
tents were-
prevent mosquitoes, man.
Where were you?
A Best Western.
Oh,
45 minutes from the venue.
oh, I didn't realize that. I thought we hung out and deep
did.
into the night.
There was nothing to do in our neck of the woods, so we stayed for the most part until we absolutely had to go back. What was scary about that venue is there was just fields, like high grass. It was like corn stalks, I guess, and dirt roads and trees and nothing, no street lights. And it was horrifying, the drive.
Yeah.
There was no phone signal. I couldn't use the GPS. It was just terrifying.
Yeah, it
So
was
I
like
stayed
children
as much as I could.
of the Corn vibe to the place.
Yeah, if you roll down the window, you could faintly hear Malachi. Malachi.
But it was great, and yeah, we hit it off because we both love horror movies and comedy, of course. And
It's in our
and then you
nature.
asked me to do this, and then we did, and it was awesome. And then you fucking didn't hit record, and so now here I am. I'm back again, and I didn't even shower this time because I don't trust you hit record this time either.
You know how I know I hit record? Because I see a counter in the top corner that says live.
Oh, that's what we should have been looking for last time.
You know who I'm actually going to blame for last week's debacle is Justin Gonzalez for saying, I had a feeling you weren't recording because I didn't see the counter.
But I didn't notice until like we were about to like wrap up the show.
Okay.
And then
we better not say anything yet.
And I'd rather at that point I'm like, you know what? This was such a good night that I don't want to take a big runny dump all over it. So I'm just gonna say we're just gonna let this roll. We're gonna just feel good about the time we just had. And I tried to tell Jason to say that he sent it to me and that in transit, not only did I not get it, it was deleted. We were gonna lie to you, John. That's what we were gonna do.
No point in doing that.
And Jason said, "No, we're better than that." And I don't think so. But hey, I'm glad we went that route.
I'm glad you guys told me the truth, so I know who to hate. If you said it was lost on the internet, then I'd be like, "This. Who am I going to hate? Bill Gates, Al Gore."
You can come right to the source, man. Right to me. Hate on me.
I can get so much good hate on you.
Oh, thank you. Speaking of hate, you went on a terrific rant last week, and I'd love to rehash this. One of your comics from last week, incidentally, follow John Reynolds.
John Cooker?
He's been drinking, ladies and gentlemen.
Where were you going with that?
I looked at the name Cooper, and I said John Cooper.
Oh, okay. Cooper.
John Reynolds at a fistful of babies, because that's a great page.
Thank you.
It really is. On Instagram, on Facebook, you can find his stuff. It's a riot.
It's really funny.
Thank you, guys. I love doing comics. I love reading comics. Look at all these comics I got. That's just one giant shelf.
You got like 8.
I got 8 comics. I got about 8 fucking bookshelves. They're all over this place, filled with.
I love them.
I read a lot of fiction too, prose, but I only get that on Kindle now because there's no space. I have to have comics. I have to have the comic collection. I can't read that on Kindle. I got to be able to hold that.
No, it doesn't transfer well.
No.
Plus, I get Kindle for certain things, but I used to before pre-pandemic. I used to like to go to author readings and get them to sign the book just for fun, for a novelty. But anyway, back to your comic.
Oh yes, the one that you posted that you showed on the show last week.
Yes, the one that I showed on the show last week. Justin, let's do a table read.
I couldn't be less creative right now if I tried.
Well, try.
Okay.
Thinking.
I have a sudden urge to record a lip sync video on TikTok.
See, I knew you could be less creative.
Bum, bum, ba, bum.
Fuck TikTok.
There we go.
Fuck TikTok. Okay, I have a vague memory of what we discussed because I think what I said to you was that the punchline originally was I have this vague craving to lip sync the president and upload it to TikTok to kind of hit Sarah Cooper. But that's not her. That can't be. This is the second time I've seen that, and I still don't know if that's her.
She's eating peas. You know she loves peas.
She's with the first host of the Great British Bake Off show.
Which your son is reviewing right now.
Yes, on this week's podcast, on the episode of the Human Centipede that I do with Carmen Lynch. At the Human Centipede on Instagram, people, please follow. I think, it's at Human Centipede. I'll get it right one day. Just like when Jason gets my name right, I'll get the fucking name to my own handle on Instagram right. But
John Reynolds, you're a gem.
Thank you, Cooper. But I didn't want to use that punchline because I don't dislike Sarah Cooper. I think she's great. I say more power to her for the success she's gotten from that. But I think what she's done to get that success is stupid. And she'd probably be the first person to admit that she stumbled. I mean, she did. And someone was telling me in an interview, she said, her nieces or whatever showed her how to do this, and she just started goofing around, and it took off. So more power to her for proving that everything in life is fucking luck. And the older you get, the more you realize that's true. You can be prepared for luck. You can be frozen like Jason and be completely unlucky. But I think we sold that for a second.
I'm going to screenshot that for sure.
That's fucking brilliant. He is. I think one of the cats grabbed a testicle.
That may be it. His newest cat, Medusa, because he's officially stoned.
I'll just keep talking until he comes back.
No, absolutely. Because I was actually on your page, the A Fistful of Babies on Facebook, and you just posted today another comic that just had me roaring on the floor. Where where Dad calls his son over to look at a squirrel up in the tree, and talking about how he has his cheeks are so puffed up because that's where he's storing his food so that he can survive through the winter. And they're enjoying the squirrel. Finally, they decide, there's something else. Let's go look at this. And the squirrel finally exhales all this smoke so they can continue to toke on his joint. I was like, that's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was a great retelling of it. It's very hard to talk about comics, Well,
see, as a performer myself, as a musician, the thing that I found that I love most about music is the stories.
Right.
Jason just texted me saying that my computer crashed, so the show is now called Hi, I'm Justin.
It's whoever's left gets to say hi, and it's their show.
That's what it is, man. This is the Royal Rumble. Whoever's left in the ring, man. But I just love stories, and that's just one that it's just such a silly story. So it's I just love it. So what was the story behind that one?
God, I don't think
if you know.
I worked on a show in development years ago for Nickelodeon about a squirrel. That then just like many things I've worked on fucking fell apart. But we were paired with this artist who was really cool. And it was his idea. And I was working on it with another buddy of mine. And I just came up with so many squirrel jokes. And this is years ago. This has got to be at least 15 years ago. And I'm loaded with squirrel jokes from that one show. And I'm sure that must have been one of them, because we were trying to do, it was for Nickelodeon, but it was, I mean, we're talking 15 years ago. So they were playing around with getting kind of dark for kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Cartoon Network has no problem doing that, even now. But Nickelodeon has always had a problem with that. And they would never even entertain it now. But back then they did. So I'm sure we were thinking of what could we get away with that would be like, could we have the squirrel blow smoke but not show the joint? And would enough people get it?
Well, did you freeze for real, or you sound like right. It's kind of like it's like Ren and Stimpy, that was a Nickelodeon show, and that was really dark compared to everything else that was on Nickelodeon. Even shows like Rocko's Modern Life, that really had some stuff in there. Like if you were a kid, you weren't getting it, but kind of like SpongeBob is, mom and dad who were watching it with the kids, they're like, oh, I get that reference. Right. So I love to hear that, like even behind the scenes, that you were still embracing that darkness for mom and dad.
Well, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head, because I've done a lot of kids animated shows, what they call kids animated shows, but the best ones are really all family. Like the whole family can get it. You always want to be on a show that's like Pixar, because Pixar movies, I mean, I have not met anyone who doesn't like them.
Right.
I've met people who don't like specific ones. I myself don't like any of the Cars movies. I think I just Cars are not anything I could give a shit about in real life. Why would I want to see them animated and be told to care about them? That to me was a misfire. But then again, they made so much money that of course, who the fuck am I?
That kind of reminds me also, though, of like there is also because I grew up in Philadelphia. I've always lived in a big city, and I always thought that, like, who cares about a car? We don't do cars. You get on the bus, you get on the train, and then I have to remember that there's a whole country. Hey, Jason's back.
Now,
hey,
I'm sorry.
Welcome back to your show.
I got kicked out. My computer shut down and said your memory crashed.
Oh no!
Did I freeze? Did I just disappear?
Oh, you froze in the greatest position ever. It was amazing.
and then I mimicked it, and then John mimicked it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen grab when I'm editing this episode, and it's going to. I actually think it's going to be almost like an in memoriam at the very end. All three of us in this position.
That's really.
We're all in that phase.
I'm so glad. I was.
I don't know why Justin's go-to for freezing is blow up sex doll.
Yes, Oral Annie. Yeah.
Like I was like, but he's like, put a penis in my mouth. That's what his face does.
I actually went to college with that guy.
Control.
I went to college with that guy. Johnny put a penis in my mouth.
He got around.
I was talking about the comic that John posted today on a fistful of babies. The
Which
one about
was the squirrel.
That's the squirrel. Yeah. There it is.
Oh my God! Look at that. Holy shit, that's better resolution than on my Cintiq. It's incredible.
Cintiq rhymes with antique.
Whoa, where's my drum set?
Yes, so that's a genius comic because I've never thought of chipmunks and squirrels retaining smoke in their cheeks. Oh shit.
And you'll have to watch your own show to find out what inspired that. But I just thought of something else that's new, which is in college, I had a friend who blew marijuana smoke into his hamster's cage. And we all laughed at the hamster falling off the habit trail and shit. And then the hamster was dead like 2 hours later. So don't do that. Don't use my comic to fucking get a squirrel high.
No,
or like that.
I have a similar story where my mom and uncle were blowing.
That's not similar, dude. As soon as your mom and uncle are involved.
Well, they were blowing weed into
everything.
they're ex-hippies, you know, and they were blowing weed into my guinea pig's cage, and he rolled over. So we don't know if they got him high or killed him, but they buried him. So
were you there when they did it?
No, they just told me he passed away.
With a giant fucking smile on his face.
That's the way to go, isn't it?
See, but years later, they tried to exhume the poor guinea pig, and they found scratches on the shoebox lid. So he wasn't dead. Oh,
wow!
He was never dead. He was
That's
a
what
zombie.
said. She said in retrospect, I don't know if it really died or was just cloned.
They were so high, this fucking thing was clearly alive, and they buried it.
She said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." Poor thing.
Like, I was so high. I remember feeding it as we were burying it.
I noticed you had one about termites.
Oh yeah,
and the one was,
sure.
Do you have the one termite asked the other for a toothpick, and he said, "You got something in your teeth?" And he said, "No, I just want dessert." And I thought that was genius. And the first thought that went through my mind was, about time someone takes on the termites. Fuck them. In this political climate, we need more anti-termite shit.
I have so many termite fans, but I can't have them come over.
Well, they'll eat you out of house and home.
Oh, hey!
Hey.
Where's that goddamn drum? Oh, that'll do.
And this comic, I wanted to point out this one right here.
Yeah.
Famous last words before the pandemic. Let me take care of something real quick. I want to see something on this. That's a funny comic, but what I noticed is my ex-girlfriend, Stacy K115, is actually a fan of yours.
No way.
I saw that. I thought, oh my God, my ex from high school.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, hey, Stacy. Look at him now.
Moving it on. That comic is directly from life because Carmen and I quarantined with one of my brothers in Connecticut, and he has a parrot. And the fucking parrot is just, it's like FM radio. It just never shuts the fuck up.
Like regular English language or
there's
just noises?
Some Spanish.
I mean,
regular words, her own word, her own name. She is called Paco because he didn't find out she was a female till a year after he got her. He's a lawyer, so hence the imaginative name Paco for the parrot. But the creepiest thing that the parrot does is it imitates his laugh, my brother's laugh, which is just a like a fucked up laugh, and then and also goes high. Like he has several laughs. Like I think a lot of people have a couple of different laughs. He's got one that goes like a witch, and the Paco does that one, and then Paco also imitates car alarms. So we're in Connecticut, far from the city. God. We get to hear the fucking car alarm when Paco feels like it. She does that whole wee.
That's amazing.
Perfectly. Perfect. And I kept
Wow.
joking about wanting to cook and eat her if we ran out of food during the pandemic.
And it would be justified. But could you do that though? Because now that it talks, it's got a personality.
Right.
But then again, it's an annoying personality.
True. I'd have to gag her. But they don't come across, parrots don't come across as, because they're talking as people. They come across as slightly more personality than an Alexa. And then she's going to talk. Never mind. You know what I mean? Because they're robotic. They're just repeating what you
the parrot doesn't know the meanings of the words like my cats do.
Yeah, or dogs. Like they get
dogs.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
I mean, I guess you can train a parrot. No, you can train a parrot, and the parrot will follow instructions.
Okay,
but when they talk, it just doesn't.
Well, yeah. Well, I remember listening to something on NPR because I was brought up Caucasian.
Smart guy.
No, I was just brought up Caucasian. So, but
I stepped on your punchline. That was better. Sorry.
But there was actually this thing where they actually did this whole like expose about parrots because there were these people that were like shut-ins, and they had these parrots, and they were their only communication to life. And this person actually had, one of the stories was this person had an emotional support parrot that could tell whether or not, when their stress levels got up, they could say certain cues. But as things kind of went on, they realized that we're not sure if this parrot is following cues so much as this parrot has its own personality and this has a relationship with this person on a higher level than just command, cue, command, follow sort of a thing.
What kind of things was it saying? I mean, was it giving positive? Did it do a TED Talk?
Well, I'm not that white that I remember. So I just remember that I heard it and I immediately forgot it.
If a parrot said something motivational to me, I would remember that.
So, but that's what it was. It was motivational things like you can do this. Everything's going to be okay. Stuff like that. Like it was like fucking Tony Robbins or something, and just over here saying, I believe in you, you fucking asshole. And he's like, okay, great. I can actually go on with my life and I don't feel like punching anybody,
Would that motivate you though if you were feeling down and you heard, you can do this. You can do this.
Yeah, that would motivate me to kick the parrot.
I was gonna say, maybe motivate me if I already had the gun in my mouth. You can do this, okay?
Thanks, Polly.
That just reminded me of another comic that you did, and I don't know if you saw this one, Jason, because I was kind of scrolling through John's page. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before.
I got to tell you, I like everyone because, and I feel guilty about it because I'm probably thinking, oh, he sees another like, oh, it's just Jason again. It's like your mom telling you you're good looking.
I am so craven for likes. I would never say that.
Okay, just checking.
But there's the other. No. The other one about the racist parrot. The
you could probably want a cracker to die.
Yeah, probably want a cracker dead.
Yeah,
the parrot came from my sweet grandmom's home. Probably want a cracker dead. It's like, well, maybe she wasn't so sweet.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? And now I'm thinking about that one. You know what's weird? When I was and I've been submitting to the New Yorker on and off because I got somebody told whoever's over there about my stuff, and they said, "Oh, he can submit and not get picked." So I keep submitting, but I haven't for most of the summer because I've been too busy. But I really like the routine because I always try to do at least 3 comics a week just for my webcomic. And then what I would do is try to do all these New Yorker ones. And once they were rejected, then I had like a casserole of comics to upload to Fistful of Babies. So I'm
So
trying.
did these originally start as a New Yorker comic?
They do, yeah. All the single panel ones are pretty much, unless they're dirty, those pretty much have been rejected by the New Yorker. And and I've come close because when before COVID, you could go in for what they call the look-see, the walk-in, the something. It's got a great name, and I fuck it up. But I would go in and meet with the comics editor, and what they do is if they like one or two of them, they hold them. And then that goes into a smaller batch of like 40,000. And then they take those to the editor-in-chief, David Remnick, and then he goes through them. And then that's when I would usually get rejected twice. But she was very, very supportive and laughed. And always, every time I went in, she held at least one, sometimes two. So that's what I miss about not being able to go in, because when I email them, she doesn't have the time to email me back and go, I held one or two,
Yeah.
Or maybe she felt the pressure to hold them because I came in. I don't know how that works. But the reason I started this was because with that, with the comic strip about the racist parrot, it needs to be a black person who owned the parrot, I think, for that joke to work. But I've been trying, since submitting to the New Yorker, I've been really trying to make a more diverse cartoon cast, because I just don't think to me, people are people. But since I started doing the New Yorker, yeah. But it's weird because I have to shade the black people, and it puts me in my head now because everybody's so sensitive. Is this coming off weird that the way I'm shading them? Because I don't know if you followed, in Australia, there was an editorial cartoonist who did a caricature of Serena Williams, and he got so much.
I mean, they didn't do it like they did in the early 1900s with the big lips, did they?
Well, that's what I thought they did. That's what I thought this cartoonist did when I heard he was getting so much blowback. But when I saw it, he did not do that, in my opinion. He gave her. I mean, the problem with cartoons now, cartoons have never made the news like this. They started making the news around 9/11 time because cartoonists would sometimes draw Muhammad to piss off Muslims, and there was the whole killing of the cartoonists in France and Paris, the Charlie Hebdo, satiric, their version of Mad Magazine, very political version of Mad Magazine, and there was that, and then they're in the news when they're deemed racist, and I think it's weird. There is that kind of Sambo drawing that is clearly racist, that it's being drawn in a way to make fun of the way
and they're always holding
black people in general look. Yeah. But when you're doing caricature of a specific person, the whole point of caricature is to exaggerate their features. So to me, it's different because he's exaggerating what Serena Williams looks like. He's not saying this is all black people. That to me is the difference. So, and that's one of those things where it really felt like group, mind. What is that called? Sheeple
mob mentality, or
mob mentality. That's what I'm looking for. And it was because the joke was that she got angry, and I think they were just mad that someone would make fun of a woman, let alone a black woman, getting angry. It's all that shit is very sensitive, and now, and I think in 10 years or 20 years, if people look back at that, they'd go, "What the fuck was the problem?" It's not this fucking step and fetch it shit that people had to deal with in the 30s.
Yeah.
So that's my long way around me going, I want to create a more diverse cartoon cast, but I'm fucking always afraid I'm going to use the wrong shade. That's for Asians, you asshole. Why'd you call that a black person? You don't know. And then you can't say, well, I don't,
If somebody with a lot of
Can't say
followers on
anything.
Twitter gets offended, then it's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Although
one
that would
person-
be, but then that would be possibly a boon for me because I'm not as big as Gaffigan. Like Gaffigan can take the hit that he's getting now. I don't think it's a hit. I think he's increased his size of followers and stuff for coming out against Trump the way he did. Someone like I do it, I'm afraid I might piss off some friends who feel weird about talking to me about it. So they just
I don't even get political on social media. There's no point. I'm not in a position to do that right now.
Yeah.
It's like I have my own opinions, but I can't hold an argument too well. I'd have to Google everything. Every time they ask me a question, I'd say, hold on, let me check Snopes.
Well, I wish more people were like you.
Well, thanks. I don't hear that every day.
I really feel what they're going to find, and this is not brain science, nor is it a hot take. It's been said a million times. But they will find it in the ashes of humanity. They'll find that social media was the cause of all problems.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. It's like we're at a civil war that's being fought with memes.
Yeah.
Memes and fake articles.
Yeah, and it just makes everyone so pissed off. It's the great amplifier, and we don't need amplification. It's not amplifying anything good.
I've got friends
the way it is bad.
I've got friends who completely disagree with me politically, and I completely disagree with them. And when we hang out, if I see them in public, they're the nicest people. Everybody gets along great. But I tell them that when I see you on social media, I would think you're the biggest prick I've ever met. I don't want anything to do with you, but I already know you. So I'm not even gonna mess with that.
I remember when Twitter first started, and there's this guy I know from the UCB community who is so shy, great comedian, super quiet though in personal dealings and sweet.
Yeah.
Completely different fucking person on Twitter. Just first of all, tweeting every other 2 minutes. Tweets way more than he's ever talked to anyone that I've seen in person. And just fucking just running at the mouth. Not so much like not a crazy political point of view, but just like the idea that he would just run at the mouth on Twitter and not talk to you in person.
Well, that's kind of
got to be something weird or wrong about that.
That's kind of like having beer balls, though. It's like because you have that screen courage,
liquid courage.
Oh, beer balls! I get it.
Yeah.
Liquid courage. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's that beautiful screen that protects you from everyone until you actually see them in public. Then you're like, I was joking,
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I think, especially right now, because it's been 5 months, almost 6 months, where we have had to be away from each other. So people have been talking a lot of shit on social media for 5 months because there's no one. They're not going to be at the water cooler on Monday saying, "Hey, John, the thing that you wrote on Twitter kind of fucked up,"
Yeah.
and that's it. No one's watching their P's and Q's right now because
And you can't do that at a water cooler because you can't talk about that in the workplace.
Well, there's that too.
Right.
What's the idea that I had?
Well, we were talking about what the new office could look like, and that is you would go into an office. It would be a receptionist.
I thought you meant the TV show. I was like, they're bringing it back.
Oh. That's what she said. I don't know. Anyway,
it's just the receptionist though.
Right. That's right. That's right.
And then everybody else is at home.
Oh, what a great idea!
But we were saying that the modern business would be that you would have a receptionist, you would have a conference room, and then maybe 2 communal offices.
We did talk about that, yes.
And only when you had to do face-to-face business, which would be extremely rare, that you would actually go into this physical office space. That you wouldn't have to have skyscraper buildings with 10 and 11 floors just for one business any longer, because if anything this has proven is that people are incredibly competent in their pajamas in their home offices.
So what are we going to do with the skyscrapers?
You know what you do with those?
Sex dens.
Yes, that's exactly what you were going to say, wasn't it, Justin?
I was going to say house the homeless, but we could fuck them too.
Oh, yeah, let's fuck them. you can live here for free if we can fuck you.
Nothing creepy about that.
No. And then, and then I deserve the lice I get, the pubic lice. That's my fucking bad because I made that rule.
Yes, here's your condom and here's your little comb for the crotch crickets.
Well, no, now that they're crotch crickets, that's too adorable to get rid of. I need that. I want them on me.
But did the crotch crickets make noise like the other crickets?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh God. No.
Beautiful penis music.
That's it. Beautiful penis music.
There's one.
Just
one
to
of
break
them,
out your ukulele.
Oh yeah.
Sounds of the crotch crickets.
What a musical penis.
My wife has been, so when things kind of come to a lull in our household, that my wife just goes, okay, season 1, episode 1, let's work our way through. And that's what we do. So I'm not sure what season we're on right now. I don't know. Sabre has already bought the paper company. Joe Bennett is on it. So that means, so we've got some good people on the show, but Michael is still the office manager. So we haven't gotten to Robert California yet, who I think he's just a great actor. Why am I forgetting his name right now?
Rob Lowe.
James Spader.
James Spader. Right. Yes, Rob Lowe was Parks and Rec.
Rob Lowe
also very funny.
Doesn't age, and Rob Lowe is. I've established that Rob Lowe is an android because he looks amazing right now.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I have no joke to make there. I just want to say how hot Rob Lowe is.
It was before COVID, there was a billboard going over the bridge to New Jersey about Rob Lowe he was going to be at the Borgata doing a show called Rob Lowe, Stories I Tell My Friends.
Oh, I heard about that.
And in my heart of hearts, I was hoping that he would come out on stage to applause, sit down on a stool, center stage, and once the applause dissipated, he would look at the crowd and say, I don't know fucking one of you people, and then walk off. Since there were only stories that he would tell his friends.
That was stories Rob Lowe will only tell his friends.
Only being the key word.
Orderly line. Yeah. That's a really funny blackout sketch.
I love that idea.
That's really funny.
It's not stories I tell strangers.
It's
not. Right. Yeah. I don't know any of you motherfuckers. What are you doing here? Just, I'm going back to my room. Call Stamos, or whatever, because he's another fucker that doesn't.
You know what else got me through puberty is Archie comics.
Oh, I love people who jerk off to Archie comics. I don't love Archie comics though. You sent me a panel today.
I did.
Like Jughead had come all over Archie's face. Do you have that one?
I didn't upload that correctly. So.
Then I don't want to talk to you.
I know. I
gotta see fucking Archie doing a whole Mr. Withers. What's up? You and I are going to do some stripping.
These are all taken out of context, but
oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, Betty and Veronica used to do it for me.
That's awesome. Is this a site you've started? Because if not, you should start it.
There is a Facebook page that's called "You See What You Want to See."
Ah,
And
Are
they
these
post
from there?
old comic strips. A lot of these are from there.
Rick Richards, if anything happens to Tommy, I'll never forgive you. Good luck, boy.
Oh, it's addicting, this site. This one I thought of you for some reason. Before we could do anything, the bear was upon Tom.
Now that has got to be an attack. Do you know what I saw?
An attack drawn wrong.
Pornographic attack. I saw The Edge from 1997. Have you ever
Anthony
seen that?
Hopkins, right? And
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, written by David Mamet.
That was David Mamet.
Yeah,
That explains all the dialogue.
yeah. They're pursued by a bear, and it's really good.
Riveting. That movie, I was on the edge of my seat for that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! You know what? It's so funny because I was trying to think like I don't think I've ever seen this fucking movie. But the moment you said that they were pursued by a bear, it all came back to me. I watched that like right before COVID hit, actually, which is why I think it's been shoved down and I had never seen it before in my life. And
I think it was on something like Hulu or On Demand or something recently.
I think that was it. And my goodness, that movie. First off, I have never seen anyone pursued by a bear doing the things that I do.
Playing ukulele and singing opera.
And sitting on the couch and eating tacos without pants, And
You never saw The
tacos
Great
don't
Outdoors.
have pants. I don't have pants.
Slowly masturbating during a podcast.
Well, how else am I supposed to get sauce on the tacos?
Oh my God.
Oh, was that the line?
That's it. That's
where we draw the line.
The fucking end of the show.
I'm just saying, I like to recycle.
This is Justin as Spider-Man.
Oh. No. These can't be the fucking real lines. That's incredible.
I hope not.
That's incredible. I love it.
Oh, I found some Batman and I thought of you. No, not that one. That was an old Lost in Space comic where they're fighting with some kind of mysterious white fluid, this alien monster.
Fight him with cum, Jim.
Space splooge.
Oh, this is what I found. I thought of you.
Jim,
I know.
Not a fluffer.
Not a fluffer. Look, Batwoman. Those bandits are trying to destroy Superman with the vibrator.
That's great. I love these. Chums. Break it up, chums. Uncle Sam's going to spank you boys if you persist in playing with his rubber. No. No. These are brilliant.
Oh, it's
depressing. I can't beat any of these.
But
Holy
they're not
shit.
intentionally dirty.
Know, that's always the funniest shit.
Yeah, like this old car manual.
What to do when your car conks out.
It's just the positioning of these two guys
Fuck
here.
somebody.
The guy in the street holding the instructions.
This was the original angle for Brokeback Mountain. It was Broke Down Mountain.
Broke down.
It was about two mechanics.
Justin, you're on a roll, man. I think I have another one.
Cindy, don't you think you've put on enough suntan lotion, Chuck? Heck no. Oh, God. That's amazing.
This one right here hit home.
Yeah, a lot of people hate this one.
I thought it was funny because this is why I was hesitant about starting a podcast.
Yeah. No, Carmen and I too. That's why I did this one, because we never would have started a podcast if it weren't for COVID. And COVID is to blame for a lot of podcasts.
A lot of this.
Probably don't.
Yeah,
But who cares?
You have the right idea.
Let's bring it back to Sarah Cooper. You might end up being the next Sarah Cooper. Just stumble into
the right
thing. People have been lip syncing since the dawn of that technology.
And she happened to do the best lip sync job to Donald Trump and scored.
Yeah, like who knew? Like, there's no way to replicate. You can't look at what she did and go, I'm going to teach a course on how everyone can be Sarah Cooper. And it's not like, you can't say, be the greatest comedian ever, because it has nothing to do with comedy.
No, she fell into it. Like Vicky Potato.
The president, this is where my rant went last time we talked about it. Not even thinking that they'd give him a percentage. Now, and I hate Trump, but they're his words that where's his percentage? And it's only doing,
He's got enough.
But it's only giving him what he wants, which is more him. You know, I'm sure I know somebody asked him if he'd ever heard of her before, and he was like, no. And it was very sad, actually, because like, is it a positive thing? And the reporter's like, no. And he's like, oh, well, all right, I'll have to check it out. It was really weirdly sad. Every now and then I'll feel sad for that guy.
Oh, that was real. I didn't hear him talk about that.
Yeah, some reporter asked him if he had heard of her. And there was just a glimmer of hope. And I think don't get me wrong, I think he's the Antichrist. But somewhere under there he's still a human being. And there's this fucking weird glimmer that I think most people who don't like him wouldn't even see. But I'm fucking the Jesus Christ.
You see the humanity in everybody.
I do. And there's this glimmer. You guys got to watch it and tell me if I'm right here. There's this glimmer of like, oh, is it something that's nice about me for a change? That's what I see in his eyes when he asks that. He's like, is it a positive thing? Because he doesn't shit on her right after when he goes no, when the journalist says no. He goes, oh, well, I'll have to check it out. Like, he could easily go, well, it's probably bad then, or it's probably no good, or she's probably a bad person. And he doesn't go to that. And that made me think, I bet he was fucking sad for that moment. Because that guy is so fucked up, right? I mean, there's so many mental problems there. But that doesn't mean he's not fucking human underneath. He's got to be.
Even sociopaths feel pain.
Yeah.
Which is why they're sociopaths.
Yeah. I feel sorry for people who fucking follow him. I feel like we're going to have to, if we ever come together. Like, the left has to stop the hate as much as the right. You know?
Absolutely.
It's a give and take.
It is, but nobody wants to be the first.
I'll step in. I'll volunteer. I'm going to do this live right now. I'm going to volunteer my services to bring peace among everybody. As soon as you agree with something he says, I'm going to say, no.
I had a visual of you walking out into the middle of a field with a megaphone between the people from the left and the right, and saying, I will be the one who will start and bring you, and then all of them, the left and the right, within seconds, just coming on you. Fire hose of cum from both sides, attacking you with their cum. They hated you so much. hate fucking the air to get enough cum to drown you in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2021, there will no longer be Republicans. There will no longer be Democrats. There will only be the Bukkake Party. The Bukkake Party.
The Bukkake Party is my party. That's genius.
Here's one.
There you go. See? Instantly funnier. Oh, do your dramatic reading of this, you two.
All right.
You did a great job last time.
We didn't get into the egg, Ricky. Now we got to
Right.
I waited.
We have
next.
I'm a trained actor. All right.
Take two.
We didn't get into the egg, Ricky. Now we got to find something else to do with our lives.
I'm going to become a speech balloon.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Why does his voice change in the fourth panel, Justin?
Because it's more contained. That's why.
What I love about that, now this was the best reading ever, the very last one, because sperm are basically from the same guy, but you guys had two totally different accents. Jason was from Brooklyn, and Justin was from like the Midwest.
He's got, you know, if you
Charlie,
did
I'm gonna a speech balloon, boss.
well, you know, if you checked his ancestry.com, if you checked his DNA, there's sperm from all over the world
true.
in there.
And the sperm, it comes from the dad, but it's a limitless potential as to what, you know, the baby will be. That's what it is. And I figured that if he didn't get to the egg, he had to be a little bit slower than us city slickers, you know. So, that's why I went with a mid. Exactly.
Nice comment. Right when we need flyover country the most to fucking be on our side and vote Biden, you're calling them fucking idiots. They're so dumb. Their fucking sperm is dumb.
I didn't say that they were idiots. I said that they. Well, they're fucking idiots. What?
I guess there can be dumb sperm. I've never heard of dumb sperm, but I guess. But you're so much more relaxed. You're coming up with jokes. You're doing wonderful, Justin, for an opera singer.
Oh no, I don't worry, Jason. I'm terrified. I hide it a lot better by constantly moving or pretending that
you? Is it John?
Well, it's a couple. I'll be honest with you, John. I mean, everyone that we've talked to on the show has been so nice. But Jason really doesn't tell me too much. He says, this is who we're talking to, and just leaves it at that. So I have to go and do my own research. And so then when I go do my research, you know, he goes, oh, yeah, I met John at this wedding. He's a really nice guy. So I'm like, who is this? Did he work for the caterer? Who the fuck are we talking to, you know? and then I look up who John Reynolds is, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, this guy's done stuff. Like he's
directed a short film with Aubrey Plaza and Bill Murray. Would you still have done the show and met this? Look at him. Look at John Reynolds. He looks like a human being, but he directed Aubrey Plaza and Bill Murray.
And I saw that short and I laughed my ass off.
Thank you.
Was it based on The Lighthouse?
Yeah.
So funny. And
than The Lighthouse.
And I know that you're friendly with Aubrey, so if you see her
at UCB many moons ago,
she's so funny. I mean, I love her comedic work. I even loved her work, and in the new version of Chucky, she was brilliant.
I still have to see that. Yeah, I heard that. I'm not surprised.
She was in that.
Yeah. So she's the mom. She's the mom, and she does such a great fucking job. And what I love about this kind of new interpretation of Chucky, and you know, and I dig on the occult and stuff like that. That's creepy. But what's scarier is that this is a technological glitch. So this is like, shit, Big Brother has gone too far, and now all of the restrictions of, you know, safety restrictions have been lifted.
For child's play. All right.
Yeah. And I found that to be much more frightening, and she was I thought she did such a great job. So if you talk to her, just tell her I said, hey, what's up, girl?
Well, that's how I address her anytime I see her anyway, so that'll be perfect. I'll go, hey, what's up, girl? Also, Justin Gonzalez said the same thing. Who?
Right. Don't say who. No.
I'm gonna autograph this and send it to her for you. I'll send it to you to give to her.
Holy shit. William Shatner at rest. I love it. That's fucking great.
That should go to MoMA, and that should be what it is. Shatner at rest.
You have Shatner face at rest. Every night at 9, we applaud all the appliances for not breaking down. So that's not going to make sense.
I was going to ask you if that was autobiographical.
Now. Yes, that was directly lifted from either something I said or Carmen said about thank God the fucking blender didn't conk on us. I forget what it was. Oh no, that was, I think I was in Connecticut, and my brother has this amazing, a lot of people don't like those Keurig machines, but he's got like one of the Supremo top of the line ones. And I couldn't fucking turn it on. I think that's what it was. that came out of that. I was like, if this thing fucking breaks, we're doomed.
I know what you're talking about, but it's
Yeah.
still not as good as real grinding of the beans kind of coffee machine.
Yeah, it's not. I guess I'm a glutton.
I'm a
for
coffee snob.
convenience.
Ethiopian coffee.
Oh yeah, for real?
Not only am I buying Ethiopian coffee and drinking it because it's delicious, I'm sustaining the Ethiopian economy.
You're
by
the one.
buying that. I'm the one.
They
3
should make
families
you
can
fucking
eat
king.
because I buy Ethiopian coffee.
And I was going to say that they eat the rice that Jason afforded them and the beans that they don't sell. That's their whole diet.
This feels so 80s now. This shitting on Ethiopians.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm going to hell.
So now I'm back in Astoria, so I don't have the Keurig. We use a French press, and I do like the taste better. But
French press is phenomenal.
I still get Dunkin' Donuts ground Dunkin' Donuts. I love the Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so I'm not really a coffee snob. You know what? My problem is with coffee. I'll say it right now. I don't know if I might have said this last time.
The poop.
People used when the poop. I love cat poop as coffee. No, fuck that shit. I couldn't stand. Justin probably will. I couldn't stand when Trump was first around, and the left. I hate. I'm voting Biden, but I constantly complain about the left because I think they're going to ruin it, and Trump will win again.
I understand that.
I hated that that the left was like, don't normalize Trump. Don't normalize Trump. Oh, they were so afraid of normalizing him. But we fucking normalized the Kardashians. Like, to me, that's where the real trouble started. We normalize crazy shit all the time. We're normalizing Sarah Cooper's lip syncing as that's what deserves a Netflix comedy special. We normalized $5 coffee. Why did we do that? Now you can't. No one can get coffee for $2 anymore, or $1.50, 75 cents, and without it tasting like piss.
I'm grateful for the show, even though this new version of it isn't that great. But the soup, I'm glad it's on because it kind of still makes fun of what shouldn't be normalized, like you're talking about.
Oh,
I love that the soup, on E.
I didn't know. I know they brought it back, but I'm not watching it. I haven't watched it since Greg Kinnear.
Oh, Joel McHale was great.
Did Joel McHale do it again?
Joel McHale did it for a few years.
Did he? Who's doing it now?
So a woman named Jade Catapreta, and I don't know anything about her except she's Brazilian. And every time she makes a corny joke, she looks like she's very upset with herself for taking this gig.
But
she seems like a nice person.
Are they puncturing the shit that we take that we've normalized? Is that what you're saying? Is that what the show's doing?
They'll show reality clips and make fun of them as they should.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's what the show always did.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I'm kind of grateful for that it came back. Because when they canceled it, I thought, oh no, they're canceling. Who's going to make fun of these awful reality shows? They're going to be considered the norm now, as you said.
Yeah. And they're not. Like Kim Kardashian fighting for a black woman who is in prison for the wrong reasons. And I'm really talking out of my ass here because I don't know that story. But, she got Trump to pardon someone that probably deserved to be pardoned, unlike most people that asshole pardons.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't care. I don't want her to have any power at all. She's talentless. She's talentless, and we've normalized that, and we've normalized that how many millions you have. I mean, we see this all the time on Instagram, and this is real old man, get off my fucking front yard, you kids. Talk. But it's like, it's killing fucking kids, like especially girls. Like they got to compete with these. They fucking, you know, the left again, constantly shitting on the patriarchy and the male gaze. But it's the fucking women who are jumping up and down and shaking their tits with 9 million followers on Instagram that are the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because those are the teenage girls who are not that, looking at that, and that's all they want to be, and they're never going to be it because they shouldn't, because it's fucking empty and pointless. But it's given weight in the society because we fucking normalize that shit, and they want to kill themselves. So stop blaming the white guy, because that's all on you bitches. All right, now I'm canceled and I'm out of here.
Oh my God. It's called Shakespeare Shitstorm. It was my first Shakespeare film and my first Troma film. Just debuted at I think it was the Toronto Film Festival. And if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it because it's a great movie that makes fun of social justice warriors.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's about a
Shakespeare
Shitstorm called The Tempest. Shakespeare Shitstorm by Troma. And there's a pharmaceutical company that makes a drug called Safe Placia. And oh God, I can't remember if there's another drug called the Tempest, but it mutates people. And this is my big scene.
Oh my God. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God.
Look for the tits and look down.
I was going to say, look at that boob.
What was great, see this poor girl that was dancing in front of me, my arms around her. We had to keep shooting that scene. They said, all right, cut, do it again. And I thought, I love acting for this reason.
He almost jugheaded all over her back.
Jugheaded.
Don't worry, it's just suntan lotion.
But she's a good sport, that girl. Oh, suntan lotion isn't that warm, though.
And it's not normally kept in a penis.
Oh, God.
What do I want to plug? The Human Centipod is my podcast with the great Carmen Lynch, at Carmen Comedian on Facebook. She's super funny. She just did a special on HBO Max.
Oh, that's right. She did.
Yeah. And then on our previous episode to this week, she got written up. The whole thing got written up in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
I heard they gave her a great review.
They did. They specifically, they talked about it, some of the comics specifically.
Carmen's hilarious. She thinks so outside the box. She's a brilliant writer.
She's really
funny all the time.
Yeah. She's great. Which is why I ride her coattails. And then you can also see
Right, Tom Arnold.
my comics at A Fistful of Babies on Instagram. I'm at Rentunes on Twitter, by the way. I should have had a same name. I'm terrible. Rentunes is the first 4 letters of my last name, Reyns. And then
Rentunes on Twitter.
Yeah. Toons.
And you said that my frozen face was bad. Jeez.
Well, I've been practicing.
Be thankful you don't have these nervous facial tics. I've got this form of Tourette's. I can't fucking help it. But at least it didn't freeze in this position.
Fucking what a downer, bringing up Tourette's.
I remember at college, I was in the cafeteria at college, and I was having lunch with a friend, and another friend comes over, and he sits down, he says hello, and they start talking, and out of nowhere he goes, bark, bark. And I just sat there a little shocked. They didn't acknowledge it, and they continue with their conversation. He kept barking, and I'm just thinking, what the fuck is going on? Why is he barking? He had Tourette's.
Yeah.
And when he walked away, my friend said, I didn't get a chance to warn you. He got here too quick.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's rough stuff, the Tourette's. Rough.
It is.
Well,
when I was young, when I was a much younger lad, and they were starting. I don't know if it was a rumor or it was on the news that kids were getting molested on the paper route. So I joined a paper route hoping I might get some.
Holy shit.
It didn't happen.
Poetic.
Wait, I know I shouldn't linger here, but linger I will. There was an actual news story that newspaper boys were getting molested in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
What that's not this is a long time ago when there was
This
no
was
news.
in the early 80s.
Okay, so when you
Yeah,
were
this was-
you're like, gotta get me a paperboy route.
I know. So I joined the paper
Gotta
boys.
get me some of that free fingering.
No.
I feel like I look like a has-been child star all grown up. I've got the look of like the balding.
You look like the dad in Different Strokes,
Conrad Bain.
Conrad Bain, a little bit as a
I've
child.
never heard that. I used to get Bobcat Goldthwait all the time.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that.
You kind of had this very serious look on your face. No, not there. Like again, it was a little more like angry and contemplative. And don't hate me for this, but are either of you fans of Ghostbusters 2?
Iago?
No.
You looked like
Vigo.
Vigo, the painting. You had that, which he was a bad motherfucker in that movie. So
But that's not the
I
guy who
hope
went on. That's the evil fuck in the painting.
yes.
Yeah, I look
Not
like the evil fuck in the painting.
So yeah, when you had that,
Ally McBeal.
yeah, no, wrong one. Oh no, although
that's
he's
right, that guy.
fucking scary in his own right.
Yeah.
He was horrifying in
Because
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
He was in the Bean movie.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He was a museum curator.
Oh, and he was horrifying?
That was a joke.
Oh.
Thank you, John, so much for being our guest on the show tonight.
Pleasure.
I had a blast with you. And
So fun.
It was. And for those of you who didn't see last week, too bad. You missed a great show. You stuck with this one.
Yeah.
And Justin Gonzalez, you're a gem.
you're a mensch.
Thank you for watching, everybody. And good night. There we go.
So
I had my buddy Ben. I used to have a podcast a billion years ago called Brian Tells John About the View. It was my buddy Brian Finkelstein, who he was home all day, unemployed, watching The View, and I was working, and I'd come meet him for drinks, and I'd tell him about what happened to me at work, and he'd tell me about what was on The View, because that's all he fucking did was watch that show. And I said, we should just make this a podcast. And I love the title, and we did okay, and we knew a lot of famous people. So Aubrey would come on, and one of them was Ben Schwartz. I don't know if you guys know Ben, but
I know that name.
Jean Raphael on Parks and Rec.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Aziz Ansari. I also know Aziz from UCB, but I also Ben Schwartz is somebody else I met there. So we had Ben come on, and I've known him for years, and he was great. We had a great fucking time. But our engineer would get starstruck, and we paid for this guy to fucking make sure the sound and everything, and he fucking forgot to plug Ben's mic in.
Oh, God.
But he, unlike Justin, he mentioned it at the end of the podcast, and so Ben felt like shit for us, So he was like, "Let's do it again," and he did the whole fucking thing again. But it had that rushed sort of, and no shitting on him. He did an amazing job. But Brian and I were so bummed that we were making him do it again, that we were so fucking lax. And he was the one who was like, "Come on, guys, pick it up." Like he was all gung ho. because he felt fucking bad for us. But that's also his personality. He's a very positive guy. And Brian and I were like fucking making nooses while we were doing it. Like, just get this over with and we'll kill ourselves. And it had that sort of like, we had such a great podcast with him that was fucking lost to the ages. And now here's this fucking shitty. Well, that's what we're living right now. We had an amazing
I know.
fucking podcast last week.
What's up, guys? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell for notifications.
Holy shit. Where'd that YouTube guy come from?
I'm just kidding. It's me.
Oh,
it was me. I'm right here.
That was amazing. Holy shit. I felt like we were on YouTube right now when that other guy came in.
I feel like my improv skills have been off the charts with my reactions.
Wow. Especially right now. That was fucking Del Close. If you were YouTube guy, then Del Close. Fucking Lon Chaney over here with a man of 1,000 faces. Fucking A. Holy shit.
Del Close. Del Close was in The Son of the Blob, if you remember that movie.
I think I knew that. I
But
don't
Larry
know
Hagman.
if
Larry Hagman directed that.
Larry Hagman, yeah. I never saw it. I think I heard that, though.
Yeah, it was...
It's all about the Blob taking his son to Dartmouth for his freshman year.
It's a college short of the Blob family.
There's a scene that just gets to you, though.
The roofie scene?
The roofie scene.
Yeah.
Forget it. Yes.
Yeah. I led you down a horrible path. Carmen's doing a show. Can you hear that? And she said, I might have to come in here if the Wi-Fi fucks up.
Did she slam the door?
She did. Did you hear it?
Yeah. Was she angry?
She was angry that our show was better than hers.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
she's
been drinking.
Is her show in Spanish?
No. It's in English or whatever that is she's speaking.
I love when she speaks Spanish. It's just funny. I don't know what she says, but it's funny.
Well, that's kind of racist, but yeah, that's... Do you laugh every time a Spanish person speaks?
Just when they're angry. It's just funny. Usually a hotel maid. Nothing racist here. Sorry.
And it's usually something that would translate to, please, sir, put on some pants. Put on some pants. I don't care the videos you've seen online.
Justin,
followed by stop laughing at me.
What?
Followed by stop laughing at me. In Spanish.
Justin, cut this part out because it's bad enough I have this face. It's worse if this face is racist. So that's not a good thing.
Justin, lead with this. Thank you.